What is up, guys? Thanks for tuning in with Built J. Today we are working on a 96 Nissan Maxima V6. We're going to be replacing the alternator right over here. The thing is going bad and it stopped charging. It ended up killing the battery that we had in the back. It was a spare battery. So this one is the original battery. It's completely dead. We're going to see if we can recharge it and go from there. But let me just show you what we got here. So we're going to connect the power probe. Normally I have a voltmeter, but right now I don't have it. So 12.8. Okay, so let's start the car and see what we have. So again, 12.8. All right, we got the car running. So we have the brake light because it's a standard, so it's got the e-brake up. But look, we have the battery light. So we know for a fact it's not charging once that's illuminated. So take a look here, look, 12.3 volts. So we're only getting 12.3 volts out of the alternator for charging. So essentially, you're just draining the battery. That's why this battery is completely dead. There's no voltage out of this battery. I tried to check it. It's like 1 volt, 2 volts. So that's completely dead. So with that said, we'll go ahead and we'll replace the alternator. So let's jump into it. 12.3 is not enough. You normally need a 4.5 or at least 4.5. At least 14.5 volts or 14 bare minimum. Oh, and another giveaway that the alternator is bad. People do it all the time. Let me disconnect all this junk. You just remove the positive terminal and the car should pretty much die because it's running off the battery. There it is, completely dead. Car shut off. So that's another way to tell if your alternator is bad. Take out the positive terminal and see if it dies almost immediately. So you're going to need to loosen the idler pulley or the tensioner, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a 14. So we're going to back that out until the belt is loose and we can remove the belt. So you need to take the serpentine belt off. Before you do that, I recommend you have the wheel off and you take out this cover. It's literally a 10mm bolt there. There's a little clip over here, and then on the bottom there's another 10mm, and that gives you full access to the serpentine belt. Okay, so before you loosen the belt, you're gonna want to take this 17mm bolt and just loosen it, so that way the idler pulley is going to be free, so you can adjust it at the top with the 14mm, and it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So turn it to the left. You should be able to have some slack on your belt now, and now you can take it off. That way you can successfully take out the alternator. Alright, so to remove the alternator, you're going to need to move the compressor to have the space to pull it out. So there's 4 14mm bolts, 1, 2, 3, and I don't think I could get the 4th one, but it's up there. 4 bolts. So you'll remove that, and then we'll have to remove the alternator next. Alright, now that we have the AC compressor out the way, those 4 bolts are out. There's 1 bolt on the inside over here. Let's see if you guys can see it. Oh, there it is. That's a 14mm. That's going to be a 12mm at the top, but that 14 right there, you're going to need to loosen that out and pull it out. And then you'll have a small 12mm that goes right here at the top. And then we'll be able to take it out and install the new one in the reverse order. Here's the new one. Compare it with the old. 2 prongs, 2 plugs. Same location. Mounting points are the same. Spins freely. This is the old one. It was an internal failure. Just make sure it mounts up and it's the same length. The aftermarket one is wider, so they put this washer to give it the same type of gap. This may be OEM, but this is the OEM spacing. So it looks slightly different, but they are the same. So let's go ahead and install this the reverse way we just removed it, and you should be good to go. And then install the belt and you should be good to go. All right, we got the new alternator in. It's all bolted up with the same bolts that I told you before, one on the top, and then there's one all the way on the bottom. Don't forget to connect your harness back together. This connects the AC compressor and the alternator switch. So if you don't plug this in, your alternator or your battery light will be on. So don't forget that, and then don't forget to disconnect as well as connect this power wire to the alternator as well. And make sure the boot is good and intact. So now that we got the AC compressor and the alternator in, all the way in, now we're gonna work on getting the serpentine belt back in there, and should be all set. Okay, after you have tightened down that adjuster screw and the belt is on and it is tight, don't forget to tighten that 17 right there. If you don't tighten it, the belt will fly off, or the pulley will fly off, or most likely both. So make sure you tighten that bolt right there. Alright guys, this is going to conclude our video. I'm going to start it up. So right now, I haven't started the car. The battery's at 12.5 volts. I had it disconnected the whole time. So let me start it, and I'm going to bring it back to see what the voltage is. It should be somewhere around 14 or greater volts. Alright, we already got a good sign. There's no battery light. That's the seat belt, brake light, and the door is open. So let's check, see how much voltage we're getting. Look at that. Test complete. 14.4 volts. We were not getting that before. We were just getting battery voltage because the alternator was dead. So we are golden. That's 14.4 volts. That's as good as it's going to get for an old car like this. And that'll conclude the video. If you found this video helpful, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything I could do better, definitely let me know, or anything you guys prefer that I do in my videos. It'll be helpful. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.